Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Curse of Mother Mystery. We're playing a modified, transformed Curse of Strahd, played in the setting and with the system of Frostmark the RPG. Tonight there's a content warning of gothic horror, gore and bad language. With me I have a wonderful cast of players. I got Lady Lyria, the half-elf of Magus, played by Julie. Hello, welcome.
Never trust children.
And then I got Calvin, the Gnome Ranger, played by Wee-Woo. How you doing?
Confused screaming.
Nix the Vistani Tiefling Bard, played by Adrian. Welcome.
I guess the crying ourselves to sleep is going to happen a lot later in this session.
And certainly not least, Sir Asfada, the Silver Dragonborn Paladin, played by Erinok.
Hello!
Anytime. What happened last time? Well, Kelvin tasted some dirt on Milivoy's boots, then cross-referenced that with the taste of the dirt at the scene of the crime in the church, and he realized it was the same. It was also an expertly dug hole, which makes you all believe that all the fingers are pointed at Milivoy. Illyria and Nyx overheard Lucian talking with a very scared woman who was begging Father Lucian to go and talk to the burgomaster for her son's sake, who apparently said something that he shouldn't have because he doesn't understand because he's so young and he's been imprisoned in the Reformation Center. You guys inform Lucian about the state of Milivoy, and Father Lucian says that he has been sick all week, but he didn't know it was being this bad. You all rush there to the orphanage, where Father Lucian discovered that it seems like Milivoy's soul has been diminished or siphoned in some way, and talked about how Saint Androl used to do that in the past, but it all had to do with that particular thing that Saint Andrel did had to do with consent. And you started developing theories if there was something else happening here, or a curse with the bones, but you're not entirely sure. Next, you headed to the Vistani camp, where Kelvin turned invisible. Nyx marched up to Aragal, who was just slouching away, and started accusing him of a bunch of stuff, and there was a lot of popcorn being eaten in the background. There was a bit of a back and forth here where Nyx said that war is never good, and this would only worsen the situation for the Vistani, and should they have blood on their hands of the Barovians, Aragal begs to differ, saying that it is what their prince wants and it will benefit the Vistani. There's a little bit of a leadership standoff between the two, but then Aragal is like, you don't act like a proper Vistani, so you're exiled. Then you all leave. But Kelvin overhears Aragal, still invisible, about feeding the prisoners, and he spots another prison wagon filled with 4 individuals, 2 half-elves, a dwarf and a gnome, all on the younger side. They beg him to do something about it, but Kelvin just returns to the party going like, hey guys, jailbreak, and you realize it's not feasible, so you leave these people perhaps to the fate. And in Vallaki, you considering what to do back in Vallaki, but a man walks into Lyra, invites you all to dinner at Wachter House. But you head into the orphanage, checking in on Milivoy. Lucian had left, but instead you're greeted by a very cocky and rude child asking if Milivoy is dead already. You grapple the kid, move him into the room with Milivoy. You question him to see if he has any connection with Milivoy. And Nick senses that something is off about the kid, basically threatens him. The kid laughs in return, saying that he cannot have you guys in his way. And then out of the child, a mass of black smoke comes pouring out, forming into a hunching demon-like form with long spectral talons and a toothy black grin. And that is where we're going to continue with initiative.
Too late to seduce the demon. Gotcha.
I mean, never too late for that.
And we not.
Hey, Ember's done worse. He chatted to somebody while we were fighting and literally got a date. And then killed them.
Ember didn't kill them. The Kenku child did.
I also have other very sad news. Just when I had finished this 3-story map and like spent a good amount of time doing that in Dungeon Painter Studio, making it look pretty good. 2 days afterwards, the one who supplies me with all the animated maps comes out with a new pack that says
Oh
Orphanage. And I was so happy! I was so happy.
Now we have it.
Yeah, for the last visit.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna burn this whole thing to the ground, sure.
Yeah, then we could
But
get another
probably
orphanage.
the last visit. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well-
we get to see it. At least we didn't see it at all.
I mean, this is the last episode as well. You're all dying, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I
Pretty
didn't.
much.
I didn't think I was
to do
that
on
bad of a
Monday.
player that you have to get rid of us all.
I didn't think Kelvin was that much of an addict.
I sip wine superiorly. Like, I don't know what
You
I'm
really
talking
are like Strahd, aren't you?
Alright,
You
alright,
sip
alright.
wine seductively. Gotta get those
No,
alliterations in, you know?
that's a Nick's thing to do.
True.
Honestly, I'm here for Nick sipping wine seductively.
Listen, I'd fuck with him, but I'm Kelvin, not me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me remind you of how that thing looks. Pretty cool. But it's actually that size. Whoa!
Heck yeah.
Whoa!
I'll take that nat 19 roll.
Oh, fucking hell, I rolled so bad! Oh my god!
You have an advantage on initiative. Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
do.
know, I did an advantage, yeah.
You didn't select your tokens, so rip.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
okay.
I select my token, but I like, you know, you can't do it when you don't have it like on your sheet because that was just dice. There's 2 Nicks. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oop. Oopsie doopsie.
I have 10.
That's
You
what
and
makes
I,
you-
you and I have 10.
Yeah, but I'll be going before because I have higher decks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
my deck
That's how
is
it works.
yes. So
Yeah.
Well, let's see when I go. Ooh. And Illyria, you got an 18. And Kelvin got a 10. Who has the highest dex between you two?
Me, by far.
yeah,
I have a +4.
Okay,
an undeniable.
Then we are going to start from the top of the round. Nyx, you see the child slouch to the ground, seemingly unconscious there. And there are these black tendrils coming out of the child, connecting to this hovering, levitating mass of shadows with his claws and jaw.
As the shadows come out and he makes that announcement, Nyx's eyes widen and he steps back, and the golden energies coalesce around his mark, and he instinctively casts Guiding Bolt in the face of the shadow.
Nice.
Nice.
Guiding Bolt!
Getting bolted!
24 to Hitoru!
Yes, it hits him right in the middle. There's like a light that starts to dispel some of the shadows from within his chest. Hisses really loudly in pain, and you start hearing like children outside the door like shouting in surprise about these sounds. Okay.
I step in front of the doorway. You are not locked in. What's the first? Yeah, we are not locked in here with you. You are locked in here with us.
Dun, dun, dun. Theatrics.
Oh.
Alright.
And he glimmers in a golden sparkle
Yes,
for the next
yeah.
person to attack him with
That's
advantage.
very true. That's very true.
And I guess as a bonus action, my movement in front of the door, he will just like stand there defiantly, and in doing so, give everyone protective bump.
10
Excellent.
temp HP to everybody.
Very
Yes.
useful.
And you can move half your movement if you want to.
All right. Asphoto's gonna stand right beside Nyx to also block the door.
I'm gonna move to the other side of the room.
Yeah, block the
Yes.
windows. Block the
Gonna-
windows.
Stay where she is.
Kelvin can't block the windows. He's too small.
Okay.
In spirit.
That's it. That's it.
In spirit, sure.
Okay. That's your turn, Nyx.
It is.
Alright though. The Shadow Demon's turn. It laughs. Ah, you will all be tasty. It basically floats up to the ceiling, and its shadowy feet actually attaches themselves to the ceiling, like gravity is upside down for it. So it's just standing there with its form dangling down above the Felix, with still these shadow tendrils still oozing from the child. And it turns his claws towards Nyx. That hurt! And I am going to make
That's
two
probably gonna hurt more.
attacks against you. First of all, I'm gonna rend you with some shadow claws with an 8.
Or not.
Oh. Oh, not yeah. I think
Um,
even Nick could survive that.
And then it's going to put its face in your face and do that Dementor move where it kind of like breathes in from you.
It gives you the bad sucky sucky.
Yes,
No!
in your face. 23.
Oh man.
That
Yeah,
really
yeah,
is
we
the
suck
bad
face.
sucky sucky.
Alright.
How does it feel?
It's bad, man.
You don't be
Oh,
mean
boy.
to me.
You've had. Oh, that's high.
Yeah. And you feel some of your vitality drain in this bad saki as we call it now.
Oh god.
And you see
It's worked.
some of the
This
shadows,
is a very serious and dark campaign, guys.
and you see some of those shadows that were dispelled by the golden light reform and gains vitality.
Julie, I'm sorry, but no matter how serious the campaign is, I exist.
Alright, Lyra.
It's okay, I'm
Focus,
sorry
guys.
for existing too.
Don't worry, you don't need to be.
Neither do you.
Oh, thank
Odd.
you. Hey, this might be our last.
Odd, wholesome, out of character moment. Anyway. Illyria is going to, as a bonus action, infuse soul, so she sort of like, I think like her eyes glow a little bit and her weapon starts to glow.
Yes, part of your own soul seeps into the weapon that you carry.
And she's going to try to stab it.
Stabby
Twice.
stabs! Do it! Do the stabby stab!
Stab him!
It's a 19 and a
Yes!
Oh
The guiding bolt!
Yeah.
Alright, that would be the first attack!
Yeah.
Yeah, go again.
Get him! Get him!
Whoa! Yeah. Two hits,
Fucking
one
hell.
crit.
Nice.
So, that's,
Your
2d6.
yeah, your weapon die tripled plus your modifier twice. Did I confuse you?
Plus
3
5.
times the damage, 2
Plus
times
3.
the modifiers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would be plus 10 plus 6.
Plus
I
5
think.
plus 6? What?
I can't do
But your
unless
dex
you.
your dex is 20, so plus 5.
God, that's high.
Well, wouldn't
And then-
I? Since I hit with
Ah.
2 attacks.
And then you have infused weapon going, which makes it a +1/+1 weapon. So,
Exactly.
So plus 12.
But like I also have duelist applying to each, so that's where the 6
Right.
comes from. It's like duelist and the +1.
Okay, so it's plus 14.
Yeah.
Damn.
14 damage as a base is pretty good.
That's right.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
Only Illyria gets the sucky.
25.
Illyria gets that special sucky
Damn.
sucky.
You attack it twice, dealing 2 like vicious big holes where its face is, as it's doing the draining of Nyx right in his face. And it stops that movement, turns his head towards you and hisses. Some of the smoke have disappeared from his body, but your rapier deals... No, it's magical right now.
It's magical right now.
Yeah, no, I'm very sorry. It deals as much damage as you think it would deal. Alright. Kelvin.
Calvin's gonna pull out his bow and just notch an arrow. You know, kiss his rabbit foot and let an arrow fly, then do the exact same thing right again in quick succession if you can.
He's not. He's no longer sparkly.
Yeah, no.
Typing is hard. Typing is very hard, I'll have you know. Oh!
What?
And that does that also double the plus d8 I get?
I
Wait, no, since it's damaged.
doubles
yeah.
Damage
all.
die.
Yeah, it's the damage die.
Okay, damn, okay. So that is 3d6 plus 12 plus 2d8.
Yep.
33.
While once again, just these expertly made attacks is hitting the weak points of this shadowy creature. But your attacks do not deal as much damage as you thought they would.
I thought it wouldn't.
Passing through the shadows.
Through the shadows.
Accidentally hits Nyx in the eye.
He's upside
I
down.
mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen.
Alright, Kelvin, that's all right?
Or
Or do you want to
Can
do something?
I, real quick, also just check if the windows are able to, just in case if we need to bail, jump it?
They have a simple latch on the side of the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then I shall end my turn. Thank you.
Okay. Aspida.
Alright, we gotta whip out big guns. We're in trouble. So I am gonna use my action to cast haste for the first time. God bless. So I would first need to do a what's it? Resolve check, right?
Yes, for the spell.
Yes. Where is? No, I can just type it in.
Haste is a level 3 spell, so it's a DC of 15 that you need to hit. It's the first time you do this, so you know you're a little bit distracted, but you keep keep your willpower over.
True,
So.
it's true. Now, true. And as bonus action, I will use the Realm Marshal to do a 1d8 plus 1d8 force damage on my next attack. And that will be, I will use it on my hasted attack action. Well, just hasted attack.
Okay.
So let's see. And is it considered undead? I assume.
No.
Oh shoot. Okay, if it's not undead, I know that ain't celestial. Is it Fey?
Fey? No, it's not Fey.
Okay, cool. That goes. Just a normal halberd. Plus 1d8. Ah, there it is. Halberd plus this one.
16. Yes, that hit. So 14 damage slashing, plus
Yep.
5 force.
Yes, indeed. And she will end her turn there.
Okay, thank you. Alright. Well. Then we're back to Nyx.
As the life force drains from Nyx through sucking, the life force fade kind of lingers there, and his form begins to blur as once again his soul mark doesn't flare in this. His eyes turn slightly golden around the irises, as he will use his what's it called, like the soul, his own internal soul power.
Soul Mastery. His
He's used Soul Mastery to cast Blur.
Oh.
Ooh.
Disadvantage on attacks, right?
Yes. And at the same time, I guess. No, I think he's fine for the time being. And he just like spits in the mouth of the shade.
It is
But I will
back
do
at
my
you.
soul check. I don't have to do a soul check either. Soul Mastery, yo. But that's an action, and I'm concentrating.
Alright, okay. To the creature, the shadow creature. Ow! Doesn't matter. In the end, Mother Night will have you all! And it will attempt to do, first of all, one drain vitality from Nick, still angry about that golden light erupting in his chest. 15
Disadvantage.
at disadvantage, it's very true. 15.
As he attempts to try and suck my face, at this point his soul mark will flare as a shining globe of golden light just reacts to him as he casts shield.
Nice.
Ha! No matter, I will have your friend instead. And it will turn to Illyria with a 19. And yes, you do this, the soul check.
Yeah, 26.
Illyria, 19.
Yeah, that just hits.
All right. 11 necrotic damage, and some of its form regains. All right, Illyria.
Illyria, I don't think I can cast haste on myself as a bonus action.
mean, is it a bonus action? You can definitely cast haste.
I have the martial sprint.
Yes.
Would that still take like my soul stow, or
Does it say soul mastery?
it's a soul gift? I think. I was wondering that it says I can add it to my spells known, and I can cast it as a bonus action once per long rest. So I assume it still requires that.
Yes. If it doesn't specify soul mastery, then it's still.
Good. Then she's just gonna attack it twice.
Okay.
Still have to have the soul for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's cool. You can bonus action haste.
Yeah. No, it's a bonus action still to cast haste, and that's really strong.
I do need to get myself a soul though. Yes, I just said that. She's going to attack it twice and then try to shocking grasp it with martial arcanist.
So a -3 to both your. No, a -2 to both. No, -3 to both your attacks, and then -4 right on this.
Oh yeah, -3. So it's 17 and a 14.
The 17 hits. It's wispy smoke, so it's a little bit hard sometimes to hit.
Yikes.
Yeah, no. The shadow demon reads your moves like a fiddle, like opening up a hole in his chest where your arm is like sticking through it, and then just laughing in your face. So 14 damage. Still with
14
magical.
damage. Yep.
Magical weapon. All right. Gabin.
Lyra just sort of like stares at it.
With angry eyes. Yes. Kelvin.
I want to do what I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Shoot.
For, cloud shooter. How many does that use only for one attack or both attacks? It's for the not moving allows for plus 1d6 on to attack or damage. Must be decided before roll.
It's for both attacks because you
Okay, for
cannot
both.
move.
Yeah, I just completely forgot that I had that. But yeah, I'd like to put that for damage, like since I have to decide beforehand.
Okay.
Boom. Ah.
All right. 18 does pierce through.
Okay.
More arrows hitting like above and beside Aspida.
Right.
As long as it's not on her.
Oh no! Wait, that
Yeah,
one.
it
That
didn't hit you
one.
yet, did it? It's fine. Wait, actually.
That one.
it
I
did,
need
yeah.
to roll a check here.
Alright.
No. It's okay.
Thank fuck. But yeah, it's 17 damage then.
17 damage.
Mhm.
Oh, they're reduced because of non-magical. Presumably.
Yes, it does once again. Doesn't deal as much damage as you wanted to.
Yeah.
Aspida.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. She, this thing is laughing, and she's just like rolling her eyes at this point. You are so irritating. And she's gonna skedoodle over here. And for flanking. And let's see. Flanking is +2, right? Or
Yes.
is
Yes. +2 to hit. Yes.
Alright, and instead of attacking twice, she is going to use the Frosty Blade. And let's see here. However, Frosty. There we go.
Wow!
Oh, I forgot to call bonus action Realm Martial first to shoot.
Yeah, sadly.
Oh,
But it's
yeah,
still.
sadly, Yep. But I can do that. Oh! I can do that. I will smite though.
Okay.
My only what's it? my only smite, second level smite
15.
for 1, so 15. Yep.
All right.
So an extra 15 cold on that bad boy. Then I will bonus action Realm Martial, so that my hasted attack action is going to have that save.
Okay.
Okay, so
Do it.
halberd here, and then Realm Martial +2. So
Okay.
another 12.
Damn, damn, damn.
Yep, and she's gonna move back here to block the door.
All right, Nix.
All right. What's he gonna do here? Open his face. Can I look down at the boy? Is like the shadow like coming out of him or anything like that, or is it just it's all out of him? He's just on the ground.
There are shadow tendrils that is still seeping out of the child.
From like his mouth or his butt or.
all over.
Excuse me?
All over.
Nix.
Okay, so they're just like. Okay, because he's out of my face, I can't cast a ranged spell without it being a disadvantage. Sad stuff. He will stare it down as Asphoda penetrates it with her halberd, and just a small twinkle in his eye as he does a quick flick of the wrist and casts Sacred Flame on it.
All right. Are you gonna do a dex save, right? Yeah, no. Damn.
Yeah.
9 radiant damage.
Okay. Do you want to do something else? Or happy? Happy satisfied?
Yeah, no, I don't have any more inspiration die, so.
Alright. Illyria's rapier pierces through critical places in the shadow creature together with Kelvin's arrows. Even though they don't do as much damage, you're still helping Illyria, and this big chunks of smoke is being removed from the body with Asphoda's various smites and realm martial blessings with her glaive or halberd, right? And Nick's sacred flame accosts it from above, this bright light shining upon the smoke once more, and slowly but surely the creature just diminishes and diminishes and diminishes, and then just turns into a few tendrils of smoke that seeps into the child below it, who spasms a little bit. Let's go. Add turn and put you to 19. And then like slowly but surely stands up in its square, sweat pouring down the child's face, a pale exterior, and still that noise of the shadow creature coming out of this child's mouth. This can't be. I'm supposed to be. I was going to be the lieutenant of Mother Night. No. What are you? All of this radiance, celestials, angels. I want. You still want to win today. And he reaches down into a pocket and brings up a knife and brings it up to his own throat. You would not kill a child, would you?
I've already done it once.
Oh, damn. It's
Oh my
Lyra's
God.
turn.
Yeah. And he's basically threatening his own life here. As a basically he's threatening a hold action to cut his own throat. So, do you guys want to continue with the initiative, or should we pause it for some talkie talks?
probably pause it, right?
Alright,
Yeah.
we're passing it. And then if we get into combat again, we're gonna reroll initiative.
Alright.
Alright, you have a pale child with a shadow creature's voice coming out of it, with a large kitchen knife pressed to the throat with this threat.
Nyx turns to Illyria and then to Asphoda and then towards the child. You think you can be a coward and hide within a child? Mother Night, was it? Clearly had the wrong impression about you. And then kind of like looks to Asphoda. And he wants to give her a look.
A look.
What
I
kind
look.
of look?
A look that is like a he has a plan kind of look.
All right. Okay, she acknowledges the look as she stares down at this child, mulling over her options.
Okay. The creature answers. I will prove otherwise. I will return to the way I was, and we shall start with you leaving this room. Otherwise, poor little Felix here, and he brings up his other hand, caresses his own little child cheek, will meet an untimely death.
Did you know that I abandoned my parents to death? She gives the creature inside the boy a look as she straightens her back and she flares out like her teeth. I heard them scream and I did not care. You can kill the child, but you will have no vessel. And when you are out, you are but a useless thing in this wooden box. And we will tear you to ethereal shreds.
Let's make a, do you believe in what you're saying here?
Oh, holy mochi is ready.
Alright, then let's do a persuasion with manipulation here. Damn.
She is not good at manipulation. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Where is it? Oh, persuasion. Where is it? There it is.
Double nat 20. 20.
It makes sense because of how fucking well you did on it.
Yeah.
The dice god saw me and blessed me.
No.
Damn.
Goddamn.
Okay, there's actual, even if this shadow creature wants to hide it, there is fear in the eyes of this possessed child. And it will take a step back. Really? You will? But it's a child! You mortals usually behave this way! It's a child! Come on!
Is Kelvin out of its eyesight? Or can it see him?
I mean, it's aware that you're there, so you would have to maybe do a stealth check or subterfuge to do something if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like to do a stealth check, just like to do a slight step to the side, not something that would immediately cause him to slit the hood, just something that would be like back off if he did actually notice it, you know?
Then let's make a stealth with dexterity in this case.
All right.
because of these floorboards that.
All right. Is
Oh wait. Let's see. Okay. For now, no, it seems like he doesn't notice where you're stepping. So, do your little step.
he's just stepping a little bit closer.
All right. Anything? Anybody else doing anything?
Julie, you want to do something? You don't have to. You don't want to.
No.
Okay.
Lyria just sort of like looks at it and tries to like reinforce what Asphodel just said, and just is like, sometimes sacrifices have to be made, you know?
I don't believe you. I mean, the way you guys. Duh. Takes another step back. Calvin?
How close is like his? Is it holding it in the right or left arm? That's very important.
In the right.
That makes it harder. All right. I'm assuming the knife is like, you know, the blade is horizontal towards his throat.
Yes.
How much like extra is there outside, like to the left of his throat, like to, you know, just fucking grab onto it even if it's on the blade? Or is there not much? Like, it's a butcher's knife. It's pretty big, isn't it?
But it's more of a fish knife where it's like long and thin, but
That
really
makes
really
it even
sharp.
easier. There's actually quite a large thing for him to like be able to grab onto.
True. You will hurt, and you would have this advantage fighting against somebody. Seeing you have the edge in your hand, and they have the handle.
But it's also they don't expect it, because
Yes.
so would they cancel out? I'm asking because I am most definitely going to do it. He is going to
Since
launch himself towards the blade and attempt to use his arm, like his
Yes.
hand, to just grasp it.
this
and
would
like
be like a surprise attack, considering
Mhm.
that this creature doesn't know that you have stepped closer to it, so it doesn't suspect
Yeah.
you to be there. So yes, you will be able to have, I guess, initiative higher here to launch an attack, and basically grapple. You want to grapple the knife or their arm.
yeah, specifically he wants to just put his hand like directly around the blade just to be able to, you know, have control over just, and with as much force as possible when he's doing that, just push it as far fucking away from the kids and float as he can.
Okay, cool. All right, then we are going to make a grapple off, which is athletics brawn from your side, and an athletics brawn or dexterity from my side.
Okay. Well, I have a +0, so this could go terribly or amazingly.
Would it be possible for Nyx to like assist if he says something here to distract him further?
Sure. No, you see what Calvin is doing, so yes.
He takes a step away from the door, and as he does his little blurring effects, it looks like a, I guess, some sort of time dilation as he like takes some very strong steps towards the child with the blade in his hand. He says, "We told you before. They did call me the devil, and something within me burns to get out. I can tell the Mother Night. We're coming for her."
Well, that's cool.
It was cool.
Intimidation. Are we like evoking emotions, or are we just trying to persuade them to be scared?
I want to use the blur effect to be like this. He's larger than the room as he's doing these solid steps forward, and his red eyes are piercing down on this kid.
All right.
Very
So-
much a show of strength by presence, I suppose.
Okay. And you believe in what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe.
Okay. Persuasion presence.
Just like Asphodel. He's like emboldened.
All right. Yeah. No. All right. We're both gonna be rolling with disadvantage.
All right. So 2d20 drop highest or like keep lowest?
Keep-
Sorry.
Keep lowest one. Yeah. KL1, and then plus your modifier.
Yeah. I don't have a modifier. And I'm hoping this kid doesn't either. If it is, it's negative. Like, holy fuck, it's a kid. Come on. All right.
He might be strengthened by something.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No.
Can I?
Happen
Wait,
to have
am
inspiration.
I able to use potential here, or do I have to do it before? I don't know.
Before the outcome. So, and I
Okay.
haven't said anything yet. So yes, you can spend potential. 10 potential is a 1d4. 20 potential is a 1d6.
And then up and up.
Yep.
Risky move.
Well, in these scenarios is when you want to use it.
Yeah. I'd have to get 4 more, so I'm actually tempted to use 30 potential. I don't know.
A 1d8.
Okay. Your call, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The rolls are not with me. Yeah.
No.
that's cool. That's okay. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, both of you kind of still like fail in this scenario, so it's kind of like all bad everywhere here. But you still take 4 points of slashing damage as you slash up your own hand as you lurch for the knife, and there's a bit of a scuffle between you two. But in the end, you're even if you start to light up in the room in this dark, forcey green for just a second, giving you a little bit of an extra edge. The child is moving in unexpected ways, like it's not really a child that is strengthened from within, and you basically end up in a standoff where you're still like standing close, but you don't have any grip on the knife. You're basically like hanging around his shoulders. Alright, we are going to roll basically an initiative now between us, and anyone who is able to reach, because this creature is going for it. It's going for the throat.
All right.
I got a 14.
Alright, come on, Asphodel. Still hasted. Come on. Okay.
Wait, no,
Oh,
it
no.
didn't. It. Oh no, I need to roll another d20. Sorry, I forgot to do 2 d20.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Bruh.
Do one more.
I know I missed it. Yeah.
Oh,
You get one-
blessed.
You get one more try. You get one more try to well, you can kill the child before the creature kills the child.
I'm not gonna- what do
you
you think
can-
I'm trying to do?
But you can still try to grapple the knife once more out of the grip. We're gonna do the same thing. But this time, this creature will not be distracted. So you still roll twice and I'll roll once.
Am I still at a disadvantage? Like,
Yeah, because you're grappling onto a live edge. Unless you want to grapple onto the arm and move slightly. Because you have initiative, you can move. You can try to move to the
Yeah.
other side and grapple the arm instead.
Alright,
if I get the arm, does it look like he'd be able to just maneuver it in a different way, like maneuver his wrist, in a way?
Well, if you keep the elbow away from, like, going towards his own throat, then you will keep away the knife from the throat. You need to stop the twist of the elbow, I guess.
Alright. And that would not be a disadvantage because I'm not fucking gripping
No.
it.
If you jump
Yeah.
up on the table or, like, basically latch on to his his right.
Mhm.
What is your dex modifier, Nix?
2.
2. All right.
Plus 2.
All right. You just roll me a 1d20 again. I got a 7. 16. Okay, you also go before the shadow creature. All right.
Alright, let's see what happens with Kelvin.
Yeah. Exactly. So Kelvin, you basically move over here,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna do a grapple off again on the arm here.
That was just a straight 20v20.
Yeah, exactly. And you won't be taking any slashing damage.
Hmm?
You won't be taking any slashing damage because of the knife, you know?
Okay.
You're not grappling onto the arm now. The
I'm
knife
not
itself.
looking.
Well, you need
Well, you need
Yeah.
to actually
Oh, fuck
roll.
me.
to.
I thought I
Kelvin
typed.
thinks about
Oh, I had this
rolling.
last time in fucking Julie's thing. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
No worries. What? Well, defender.
Hi.
You basically get nowhere. He doesn't get any closer. You don't stop it really. You're still in this deadlock with each other. You know, a gnome and a kid, I guess. Okay. Nix.
Okay, seeing the struggle, and the blur is still going. Presumably, it's only been like not been a minute yet.
Yeah, no. It's closing in on a minute, but not that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is gonna take some strides over, like more powerful looking strides, and he's gonna look down on this kid. And Kelvin, you'll see like this look on his face of, well, I'm not sure you would have seen such determination, or I guess to a certain degree, a darkness. And he walks straight up to the kid, and like puts his face closer and says, I release you. And he will shove the boy into the blade.
Do I get anything against this since I'm also trying to stop this, or does it just go?
No, you were holding on to the arm, but you haven't grappled it. You haven't successfully
Yeah.
grappled it, so you don't have actually any control over it. It's just been you and the kid fighting over control this whole time, and then just Nick's going there and just shoves it in. But still, this still requires some kind of check here, how well this goes. But seeing how the creature wants to do this is going to be with advantage. So let's do a brawn melee attack with advantage.
On melee attack. Yeah, I get it. So 2d20, keep -1 minus.
Well, that's enough for a kid. Yeah, the blade embeds itself into this orphan, hitting the artery. Immediately, a rain of blood comes, basically raining forward as there's still pressure inside of this kid. And as soon as that happens and the gurgling sound starts, drops to his knees, the tendrils come once more, and like, you know the smoke of a candle? That but black comes seeping out of his body and like hovering beside it, and at that point, in the moments of this child's death, his true voice come out with more of a gentle but sad expression on his face, going, "Why?" during the gurgling sounds, and then slumps down onto the ground, spasms a little bit, and then it's dead.
I call out to Illyria. Now! End it.
Okay.
I think Illyria's
Yeah, we
after me, right?
I don't know if it's
Oh, Illyria's
Me.
not next. Who's next?
Let's
Yeah.
see. Asphodel got
I got a 4.
A 4. Illyria got
a 6.
Got
a 6. Okay, yeah, no, it's then. It's then Illyria.
Oh. Lyria is going to. I don't know, can she like make it up to here?
Yeah, you can jump onto the bed.
Okay, so she just rushes over, and how long would this have taken?
We're basically coming up to 1 minute. You wouldn't have like 1 or 2 rounds left of your infuse if it's like 1 minute long, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
1 minute and 6 seconds for me because Illyria
Ah.
isn't that smart.
right. Yeah, it's intelligence.
My build is so suboptimal. It's not even funny.
No. You have basically 2 rounds more of using it.
Okay, so she is just going to.
It's small. It's just this black wispy smoke, so it's gonna be hard to hit. But it's there, right in the open for you to snuff out the last
Yeah,
bit
she
of smoke.
rushes towards it and tries to put her still somewhat like shimmering rapier through it.
Uh-huh. Yes. You required a 20.
Damn.
And
A D20? That's quite a lot of damage. It must be a
oh
very
no, I
large
wasn't sure
rapier.
if I still had like the second like attack in.
Oh,
it, sorry.
okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, then
Uh,
I thought you were rolling damage there for a second. No worries. No. Roll damage for 2 2 quick stabs.
yeah,
Big blade.
yeah, big blade. No, she, I just rolled for 2. I didn't know if it was like how low it was, so
That's what she said. Yeah. I'm sorry.
2d6 plus.
14, right?
Wouldn't it be 16? It would be 14 without the +1.
No, 5 plus 5. You have 5 is just a dexterity mod. Then +1 because of the weapon. So that's +6. And then
Yeah.
+1 because of duelist, so +7.
Is duelist a +1? Did you check that?
No, I thought you said +1. Is it +2?
No, it's +2. I said +2.
Okay, then yes. Then yes. 16.
I mean, I can check. But
No,
it used to
I'm
be-
pretty sure it's +2, so don't worry about it.
Duelist in normal D&D is +2, so, you know.
You stab once in like there's still like a little body and like a little head with a little like jaw, tiny now, but you can still see some outlines of this creature. With the first stab, you kind of pierce through the body. Some electricity from your blade kind of jumps out and destroys the smoke around it, and then your second stab you hit it in the head and the same thing happens, and there's like a little mini implosion happening in the smoke where it kind of coalesces into like a little dot, and then BAM! But it's not like larger than like 40 centimeters like diameter. So it would have been epic if the creature was larger, but now it's just like a little
Yeah.
BAM!
But it's
in the air. And
is it gone?
that fire in your stomach, Nyx, disappears.
As it disperses through Illyria's expert attack, Nyx is like staring down at the bleeding out body of the boy, and then whirls around, and his like jacket whirls around with him, and he looks at Asphodel and he goes, "Asphodel, quickly, put him on the bed."
Is she still like somewhat a little bit hasted?
Sure. You rush over.
Illyria just
She's
sort
Russian.
of,
She's
like,
Russian.
is happy that this thing seems to be gone, but she's just sort of like leaning against the wall a little and giving Nyx this like what the fuck look.
Sorry. Did Nick say put him beside the guy in the bed?
Put him on the bed.
On the bed, yeah. She does that. She scoops this kid up and puts him on the bed.
All right.
Okay. As she does that, Nyx like has the quick look around the room, just real briefly, to see the looks that Kelvin and Illyria are giving him.
Calvin is like looking at, where the child's body was, just like wide-eyed, like sullen.
There's a huge blood splatter on the ground, like right here, and also on Nyx and part of his face.
I'm assuming a little bit got on me as well.
A little bit.
And Nyx will like quickly turn to the boy here, and then look at Asphodel and say, "Hold him down." And he will use his thumb and slick the blood from his cheek that belongs to the boy and slather it over his hand, and then hold on to his soul mark, which then begins to glow intensely.
Oh, go on.
And as he's holding on to it, he closes his eyes, and you see behind his eyelids the glowing golden light beyond his purple eyelids. And he opens his eyes, and the red eyes are now a golden burning color, and he slams his hand down onto the kid and casts Revivify.
I knew it.
And as this is happening, she's holding it down. Asphodel has faith in Nyx.
God. All right. Okay. Yeah. Is that a soul sacrifice or is this normal?
It's a soul check.
It's a soul check. Let's do that. 15. Oh, you got it.
Soul comes out, enters the kid, and returns back to Nyx.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I was just going to roll one singular death saving throw for this kid because it's just a kid. But then you hit me with the Revivify. Yep, this is soul consumption, so there's no soul check required.
The soul just dissipates and disperses. I lose the soul.
3 points of soul potency needs to be paid.
3 souls.
Yeah, well, of potency 1. If otherwise, just 1 soul of potency 3. But 3 potency needs to be paid.
That would be 3 souls coming out of his mark then, and doing a sort of swirly kind of bowl thing, and then enter through his mouth as he expends all of his souls to revivify the boy.
Fucking hell.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Our spellcaster's out of souls.
Uh-oh. I mean, we did just kill something.
You can't trade souls, can you?
Yeah, you can. It's a 10-minute ritual for each soul that you do, and then if you lose concentration, it's a risk that you both lose that soul. But it can be done. Yeah, no. These 3 souls enter the dead child's body. Basically infuses him in a golden light. The wound across his throat patches itself up. The deathly pallor goes to a healthy, rosy pink, and a few seconds afterwards, the eyes flutter open and then goes into a violent coughing fit. Oh no, yeah, no, there's also, just before the coughing fit, a piercing scream, as if he would have woken up from a nightmare, and then when he notices his surroundings and the scream, it turns into a coughing fit.
Nix, as that consumption happens and he sees life return to the boy, he'll stumble back, hitting himself hard against the wall and slump down onto his butt, breathing heavy, sweat on his brow thick.
As the kid's having his coughing fit, Asphoda is like holding on to this kid, kind of like hugging, like brings the kid up to an embrace, patting his back just as the haste leaves her, and you just hear a
Yeah, right, she's tired. Yeah.
as the haste wears on, but at least the kid is being supported. She's embracing him.
Damn. Okay. It's gonna take a little bit of a while until Felix here regains his composure. He just died. He's crying, he's coughing, he's sobbing.
As Asphoda is like taking care of the child, Lyria will like check on Nyx.
Nix is breathing heavy, trembling. Probably doesn't smell all that great, but clearly weakened from this.
Are you okay?
That took a lot more than I expected. Sorry I put you through that.
It's all right. You mentioned you thought you might be able to do it before. I was worried we would have to kill the child either way. And because of you, it's okay.
It would seem so unfair to let a child be collateral damage in the darkness in this world.
A lot of things in this world are unfair.
At least this one is made right.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to us. And he will lean his head against Illyria and close his eyes. Thanks to us.
Lyria just kind of like lets you do that. It's like, no.
just a moment of silence together.
I guess because I don't think she'd know what to say.
Right, just pat the pompadour.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if Nyx lets her,
Yeah, you can stroke Nyx.
maybe after just a little while, she's really unsecure about it, but she kind of feels like maybe she should do it.
Don't say it that way.
So she's just
Adrian,
really
please.
hesitant before she kind of
Alright, you don't wanna destroy the fluff either, so it's more like very, very careful pats on the fluff.
I mean, it's more about her not being entirely sure if Nyx hates her guts or not.
Fair, but he allowed her to do it.
Yeah. So that's why she's hesitant. I'm sorry, Nyx, but I mean, I guess she cares a little bit about you here because she knows it's important to you.
Fair enough.
Okay. As soon as you're consoling the child that is crying in your arms, you hear him hoarsely whisper to you, "What? Why didn't you just let me die? I've done such horrible things, unspeakable things."
That wasn't you. That wasn't you.
Mama! Papa!
You're here now. You're here now.
It's all my fault!
No,
My fault!
it wasn't you. Shh. Don't you dare let that thing, the actions of that thing be you. Because it isn't. It's not your fault. Not at all.
You hear a very loud slamming on the door. Hello? What's going in? Well, going on over there? What's this ruckus inside my orphanage?
Nyx wearily, well, not wearily, jerks his head back to this very obvious cacophony of sounds, and kind of looks a little bit awkward at Illyria that, there was that brief moment between them, and gives her a quick smile, and gets up and says, yes.
Wait,
And,
no, Nick, you're bloody!
Illyria just sort of
bloody.
looks away, a little bit embarrassed.
Nyx grabs the bottom of his jacket and just tries to rub the blood off of his.
Asura is going to stand up. He's picking up this child. He's gonna pick up this child, kind of scooch Nyx to the side with her foot, and she's gonna kick open this door. And she's gonna have an intense look on her face, ready to give a nasty look at the head of the orphanage. She holds this child protectively in her arms.
Alright.
Illyria is gonna grab Kelvin and try to cover the biggest of the blood stains a little bit.
Moving the table. Move the table.
Yeah, move the table. He grabs Kelvin and stands in front of it.
Oh god. Okay. Well, the door is slammed open upon not hearing anything. Hey, stop being like this. Hey, just let me grab the door. Hey. Ah! What is it with this door?
The actual door.
There's the actual
I was
door. Okay.
wait, why is she unable to open the door? Before I realized it was Bex with the light.
Yeah, was me. Um, and like immediately there's like a red, flustered face meeting you, and this breath in the throat, like she's immediately going to start berating somebody, then looks up into the silver dragonborn face that is meeting her, and then immediately she loses her breath, like what's going on?
Everything is going on. The negligence of this orphanage is going on. A creature has entered here and has done horrendous things and have inflicted wounds to the children of this orphanage. And you and your negligence should stand aside as I bring this boy here to the father. Now move immediately.
Okay. Um. Um.
I think
no.
Aspinall deserves inspiration for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No roll required here. She is going to crumple together to like half her size, and she's immediately gonna take a step back. Um, you know, her breath lost in her throat, and she's just looking like wide-eyed on you, lost for thought. And you're just still creating this shield in your hands, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, and in her arms, and she is marching her ass to the father.
All right. Okay. Okay. Um. I'm just gonna put you at the neutral position as we just find out what the other guys are doing. You march past like this group of let me put you there so you saw it. This group of orphans just standing in the corner looking at you wide-eyed. Nobody's saying anything, but they're definitely notice a weird stance and have just backed up in a corner. All right, you're over there. You're marching like Father Lucian, storming. Towards the church. What are you guys other here doing? Directress Belasco is still a little bit dumbfounded.
I think we're all a little dumbfounded.
Kelvin
Yeah.
especially.
Nyx looks with wide eyes towards Illyria and Kelvin, and before silently following her out towards the father, Nyx just wants to take the briefest of moments to look at Milivoy and see if his breathing has eased, if the plague that's affecting him, like just visually, is it like seems to be, is he doing better?
The answer is yes. As you say, his breathing has become a little bit easier, and he is not thrashing around in the bed as much. He's still, quite sick, but it seems to have calmed down a bit.
And then just before heading out, he's gonna go over to there and give a nod to Milivoy in his battle with recovery. Just over the covers, touch his foot and say, "You've got this," and cast guidance before walking out.
Oh.
You pass by the rectress. There's still some blood splatter on you, and her eyes kind of pop out of the socket, but she's not saying anything yet. She's just silently observing everything that's happening.
I give a look to her, and then I give that eye gesture to Asphodel, right? Damn. And
Yeah.
and walks.
Okay. Illyria.
Lyria just looks at Kelvin like, should we try to explain or try to get rid of the blood, or should we just leave too?
Doing the cleanup to the rectress. Lol.
I think that If she needs any proof that she is really doing a shit job, then she can look in here. And with that, he's going to leave and follow after.
Lyra is a little bit dumbfounded by that, but just like,
Okay. And you two, as you walk past, see all the children staring at you silently. Look at this glorious animated map that I didn't have before.
So fancy.
Flickering, moving bushes. We appreciate your work, Bexxy.
But I didn't
Lyra's
do
just
this.
Lyra the same as he's like, it's all our blood, I promise.
I do pay for the maps though, but... Okay, and also... That's how it looks. Side of the orphanage. Woo!
Oh, that's so cool.
Damn.
Honestly, it gives me vibes of like some creepy doll or like teddy bear jumping out at any moment.
Friday Night at Freddy's.
I mean,
True.
didn't something
That's
creepy...
not what I was thinking about, but
Did-
like...
Didn't something creepy jump out?
That shadow. Literally.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Anyway.
I don't know, this place just gives me the vibes of like, you know, toys moving on their own while you're not looking.
Anyway, you quickly pass over the street, hoping that no one sees you. You hide a little bit from the guards that are still tailing you, who are standing outside of the orphanage, and they are looking at you a little bit like suspiciously, seeing evidence of blood, and you have an orphan in your arms. But seeing that you're heading towards the church, they do not intervene, but they seem to have made a note of the incident. There we go. Back to the church theme. All right. Would Father Lucian be here is the question. No, he's not. Since this is evening, we'll probably be talking about 7 o'clock or something like that. There's no one inside praying. They seem like the day jobs in the church of cleaning up or helping to hold ceremonies with Father Lucian has ended as well. So if there are any acolytes or servants who live here, they're probably eating dinner at some kind of communal place, or inside of the room studying, reading, or off with friends in the town. But the church remains open and warm. And there's still like water being offered, but there's no one there but the echoing halls.
Oh man. Does Asphodel like see any light anywhere, like candlelight?
Oh yeah, the church is lit day and night, so there's candlelight everywhere.
Asphodel, is looking for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to like roar out, Father Lucian, where are you?
What?
Fucking hell.
What a bastard!
I'm not entirely
You
sure
know
if
what
this would
Asphodel-
come out if you like shouted like that, you know?
I'm going full
Yeah, I feel
force.
like you're making run away.
I was letting them get the gravel for me.
just like
Jesus.
cowering under one of the beds, just like.
Well, your voice echoes in the church for a while before a teenager, 16, 17-year-old or so, female, straight brown hair with just simple like brown robes peek out like a head from one of the doors with like big eyes and a bit of a scared look on her face. Um, I mean, he's not here. Uh, um, yeah. She looks very scared of you, a little bit insecure.
There's no reason to be scared. We really just need to know where he is.
Last I heard,
Where?
he went towards the burgomaster to talk about the town's defenses and a specific Miss Rikalova's son.
That's all she needs to know. As Asphodite says, "Thank you so much, young one," and she marches out the door towards the burgomaster.
Illyria gives her like this sort of look like, I know she's scary, but she's nice, I promise, and goes after Asphoda.
Can just like on the exit, because presumably Asphoda went in, roared, Nyx would have like stopped, like holy shit. And then like just as Asphoda's coming back out, carrying the child, and say he just wants to like look her in the eye and see absolute determination and zeal on her face and say, Asphoda, is it a good idea to go storming into the burgomaster's house at this time of night?
I'll wait patiently outside his door.
Would it not be more eloquent if we fetched him here?
Given that the burgomaster is, and she looks around, how many guards are around, and what's the closest? How far away is the closest one?
You're basically standing right now just outside of the church, right in between the road and the church, and on the road there are 2 guards observing you.
How far away? They can
10 meters, 15 meters.
Okay. And she's just like, oh, what's it? Stamping her foot on the ground, but she kind of leans her neck down and kind of like whispers, with like vial in her voice, because the burgomaster is a paranoid fool. I don't even think he would have the intelligence to know the dangers or understand it. The moment you just say monster, a creature of the night in here, he'll go off on that. You have a good point, Nyx. And Asphoda turns her heel around with the exact same zeal back into the church.
All right.
And she was gonna take the pew closest to the entrance and wait patiently for the father to come back, as she's still caring like for the kid. She's like taking out her packs. Provide if the kid is hungry, she'll feed it. If it's
Bat
like
sausage.
everything, she's whipping everything out.
No bad sausage.
Illyria,
gonna do that to the
Illyria is gonna like try to see if she can find that girl again.
Yeah. No, as soon as Asphoda opens up the door, you can see like a figure that has like stealthed out of the room, and it was like approaching the metal aisle and like turning her head to look towards the doors as she was like moving afterwards, like seeing, are they actually gone? And as soon as the doors are slammed open again, it's like ah! And she hides behind a pillar for a second before berating herself and then taking like a step out, still standing close to the pillar that feels like a harbor of safety for her right now. But it's like looking at you from across. She's like in the middle portion. So she's just looking at you guys a few pews up.
Can Nixon like look at Illyria and Calvin and say, I think, well, Illyria, you're the best person to venture that way. Would you mind? I'm a little
Not at all. I was
exhausted.
about to ask if maybe there would be a better place to care for the boy while we wait.
If you go fetch the Burgomaster, you wouldn't have to wait too long. Not the Burgomaster, the father.
I was about to say we don't want the Burgomaster.
No, the father. The father from the Burgomasters.
Yeah, the father of the Burgomaster.
Okay.
Oh god.
I'll try to fetch Father Lucian.
Kelvin, you would
I
like to
will
go
go
with
with,
her?
of course.
I'll take care of
yeah.
Asphala. She seems to be, well, in
Erratic.
a particular state of mind. I was going to say a little bit more politically correct. But I'll watch over her as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And Nyx will take a pew.
Uh-huh.
A pew.
Pew pew.
Well, should we head?
Yeah, we should hurry.
All right. So basically, your quest, Kelvin and Lyra, is just walking out into the night of Valaki. The guards kind of stop you and say like there's a curfew soon, so what you doing? And when they hear like the request that you guys wanna go to the Burgomaster and talk to Father Lucian, they agree to this notion. One of them escort you, one of them remain. And you're basically going to be spending like 10 minutes walking there, 20 minutes waiting until the Burgomaster is done with Father Lucian, and then 10 minutes coming back. So we have like 30 minutes here in the church for any RP until the Father Lucian is back. Unless you guys want to talk about something during your little walkie walks.
Kelvin's just gonna be looking really sullen the whole time, just like really down, to be honest.
Kelvin, are you alright?
Do I look alright?
It's not quite like you to look so down. At least when you're not trying to like sniff and or lick dirt.
I fucked up. Not just once as well.
What do you mean?
Tried to get the blade away from the kid's hand, and all that got me was this. And then kid still got killed. Still got revived, but you know.
And what did I do? I wasn't even able to move before.
You fucking killed the thing.
After the child. And we all killed the thing. I just thought I couldn't like let it get away after what happened to the child.
I agree with you there, but just because you guys might not have done as much, I still feel like I've fucked up. Because I've also resulted in Nyx now. You know, that tied whatever else consequences he had from casting whatever the hell he casted.
Is Illyria aware enough to know that like those souls just kind of poofed now?
I mean, considering your upbringing, considering who your parents are, you're very well aware of the basics of soul magic.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm wondering how many souls he still has.
That, I have no idea. You'll have to ask him myself.
I know that we were all a bit short. I'm just a little worried.
He'll be
But
fine. He's Nyx. He's always got something up his sleeve.
he's Nyx, but he's amazing at what he does, but without souls, he's going to be in trouble. And what he did take quite a lot out of him.
Yeah, saw it. I think that was just a bit much for me, but I'm getting over it, don't worry.
But I do know how you feel.
Good.
I feel it probably every goddamn day in this place.
Why is that?
Well, nothing I do ever seems to work. I'm only really good at wielding a rapier, and even that seems to be going horribly wrong sometimes.
He looks at you just like, really? Like, it with a facial expression, just like, you wield a rapier better than anybody else I've seen.
Well, it's about the only thing I'm good at, unless drinking and gambling count as talents.
You'd be surprised. But you're better at a lot more things than you think, trust me. Even though you might not be able to think of them, or I might not just be able to put them into words. There's a lot more to you than you think. There's a lot more to everyone. As for
I don't know.
Next, all of them.
I'm just. Well. I'm just a terrible soldier they may or may not have tried to get rid of by sending me here.
And here it looks like you're kicking ass.
Nyx's, Asphoda's.
You're kicking their asses?
No, but they are the ones I feel were doing the most.
I'd argue with you there, but
You too.
if you weren't
All of you are able to, well, how should I say, in one way or another, help people.
and you're saying that you can't?
Well, if it doesn't involve stabbing them, no. It's just, I see Asphoda trying to calm this child and being, well, I don't know, this really collected person. Then there's Nyx, who is able to keep us all alive. And you're really good with that bow. And your, I guess your knowledge of mushrooms is pretty good.
But Iridia, you might not think that you're helping that many people, but did you see how much you helped Nyx there? Like, you literally were a shoulder to him to lie on for then. And you're helping me right now.
I mean, I think probably somebody else would be better suited for that. I'm not entirely sure Nyx even.
You just don't think he likes you?
After everything I've seemed to have said and done. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
Olivia, you're beating yourself up. There's really no reason for him to hate you. You might give him some and think of them in your head, and they might sound like, good reasons for somebody to dislike someone. But
Well,
if it was from him, it would seem like nothing. Because, well, it is. You've done a lot better than you've done worse, and the worst stuff you've done is not really bad at all. I can't even think of one right now. Anything that has happened because of you, is outside of your control.
said some. I don't know. I feel like I said some pretty bad things about him. I didn't mean them, but I think I did upset him. And, well, you shouldn't. This wasn't about me, this was about you. You really shouldn't beat yourself up over this either.
Who knows? It looks like we're just 2 Vex on the way to get a doctor.
Pretty
No.
much. I guess I could buy you a drink sometime.
How about we both buy each other's drinks? Does that work?
I mean, that would be, I guess, if we both buy each other drink, then yeah. Works.
Sounds good. Let's go get the father.
2
Let's
for the
go.
price of 1. Alright, you go and wait for the burgomaster, and then with Father Lucian, you walk back to the church as he storms back towards it. But in the meantime, what's happening here?
Nyx is watching Asphodel nurture and take care of the child for a few minutes, embracing the silence, other than the cooing and the soft direction that she gives it. And even without Asphodel looking towards Nyx, his voice will echo enough in the space inside a chapel and says, "You've quite taken to him, as for that."
I don't see why he wouldn't. He's been through a lot. Think about it. He passed away. And then now he's back. And he remembers everything that monster has done to him. And all he could do is, I can assume, sit back and be forced to watch. That is awful.
You're right. It is a lot for a child to even comprehend. And one thing's for sure, he's going to need a little bit of guidance to help him through this difficult next phase in his life.
He needs... Oh, go on.
But that's just it. He gets to live.
He gets to live, yes. But now he lives with a trauma. He doesn't need guidance, he needs therapy.
I'm sure Father Lucian will do whatever it takes to ensure that this boy is well taken care of. But something is a little bit curious to me. How immediately protective you are of it. And I question, is there something there? Something you want to share about this? It seems like it's hitting a little closer to home for you.
I don't see how. Quite honestly, from what I've gathered about the rector there, she's an awful woman. How many kids there have wounds? Hideous wounds on their arms. She did nothing. Nothing. Didn't even bandage them. They were just left to cover it up. Awful. How she just regarded that place like she owns it. Her orphanage. No. No. Not your orphanage if you let this happen.
Would you say that you bandaged your brother's wounds when he was growing up?
When he was unable to, yes. But when he was competent enough to bandage himself, I just gave him what he needed and observed, making sure he can do it right.
You were the big sister he needed at that time.
Of course.
You can be the big sister here too.
Indeed I can. I did it once, I can do it again. Besides, because of me, he can take care of himself now. At least, under protectorate care. And training, of course.
You miss him?
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I miss him, yes. But I know he's in good hands.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm sure that you would have been a very protective sister. I was a little taken aback, if I'm honest, about your conviction earlier on and ensuring this child's safety. I don't think I've seen that side of you before. Both frightened and, to be honest, a little aroused. No offense.
Nix, you've ruined the moment.
Fuck's sake.
I apologize. It was... I'm trying to think of another word, but hey, I'm a little drained.
Oh, the Morning Lord.
The power behind your voice, it was just so vivacious. I mean, I've never heard you speak so loudly before. Or maybe I'm just impressed. Yes. Maybe aroused is not the correct word. I've just, yes, impressed. That's what.
Well, when I saw that rectoress's face, and I didn't want to answer any questions of hers. So, you just have to give it your all. It's as my father said, you don't half-ass two things, you whole-ass one thing.
You certainly put your whole ass into that one.
Yes, I did.
What's his name? The boy. What's his name?
Is this not Felix?
To be honest, I didn't pay attention. I'm not one for children so much.
I could have heard wrong. I know some of the young children, the stairs, well, would talk about him. I think either that or I'm mixing other names with from other places. I haven't asked properly yet, only assumptions. But all in due time. Regardless of a name, he needs time to cope and rest.
Agreed. I hope Father Lucian gives him what he needs. And as for the rectorate and what's coming to her, who will enact that justice? Honestly, I can't say. Because all is well here, right?
Of course, everything is well here. Also, Nix, How are you feeling?
Or just peachy.
Insight? Where is it? Ah, 15. Oh wait, no, composure, 13.
Alright, Nix, you can roll that against it, or you can just say what you want to say. Depending upon what you roll, you know?
I will roll deception.
Ooh. Presence.
Mhm.
By one.
You see, Nyx doesn't back that up with any real strength. Mostly because he looks completely drained. And presumably you give him the old Asphyder eye without eyebrows.
Mhm.
And Nyx will pause for a moment. You can roll composure, empathy against you if you've discovered it, if you want.
Sure.
Oh.
9.
And he gives like a quick nod and says, "To be honest, that's what I don't think I've ever felt this empty."
What you did back there before you brought the boy back to life. Assume you've never done it before, have you? Something like that.
How could you tell?
Looked around the room. You didn't look at me, but you looked at Kelvin and Illyria as if wanting to know their reaction towards you. Whether they looked at you in fear, horror, disbelief.
Yes. I was panicking that I did the wrong thing. But in the moment, I was overwhelmed with this perfect clarity about what I should do. Something deep within told me that everything will be all right. It will be tough. But if I held on, if I stayed the course, I could make things better. And turning to listen to that, I felt that feeling of cold when we encountered him before at the beginning, and then as it left, it was almost like the answer to a question. And whether or not this was a test, I don't know, but like I said, I'd never believed it would take this much out of me. But I'm glad it did. It is a noble cause.
You did. You did. He gave this boy here a second chance, where his last moments wouldn't be what they were, nor his last actions, or rather, actions not his own. It's gonna be hard for him. I know.
Nick looks down and fiddles with his fingers and the hem of his jacket, and then with slight tears in his eyes, and says, "Maybe there's hope for me yet to redeem myself for you then."
I have faith in you. Just as you looked at me with a plan, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what you were gonna do. But I have faith in you, Nyx. I trust you. And look, you did phenomenal.
Nix will sit in the moment of quiet. Listen, letting those words wash over him. That's it.
Okay, nice, very nice. Before Delusion returns, let's take a quick break. Refill our drinks, go to the toilet, do some stretches, and
You've asked for the inspiration.
yes, you have inspiration.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna refill my drink as I recover and get the mucus out of my voice.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm also gonna refill my drinks. I'll be right back. If anyone is staying here, not doing anything, entertain the chat.
I mean, I guess I can try, but I'm not very entertaining.
Why, Adrian? Why?
Nyx has a fucking mommy kink.
A what?
No!
A
Oh.
what? What?
Yeah.
Thank you, Aspen. I appreciate the kind words. Did you say mommy kink?
Yes, he did. Viru, I swear I'm gonna kill
I'm pulling
Yama.
your leg. Fuck off. I'm pulling your leg. God.
I know.
Oh, please don't kill Yama. I swear to God.
I love how, like, every time I can just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill your character.
And you know, and I know that you're not going to, but I still really don't want you to.
Honestly, I mean, if you keep, like, being sassy to literal gods, like...
Okay, no, that would be understandable, but not for fucking saying this, okay?
I know nothing of Nyx, but I wouldn't be surprised if that were true.
It's like...
Very true.
like...
That's very true.
I think his character took, like, a blight to the face by a god because he insulted him, like, right in front of him, like, twice.
Who, me?
Weewu in my game.
Oh, right. I just need to get some water. Be right.
I
some
have
stretches.
returned.
Welcome backed. Welcome backed.
I will actually go back because the moment I sit down, I need to go to the bathroom.
This is why we have these breaks.
Oh god. I can also hear it like thundering outside, so
Thunder and lightning.
I'm actually really happy because it was way too warm.
I have a big sunset.
Like, I think was it today? Like, I
30 minutes over 11 and I'm in the middle of a sunset.
I woke up at like 6 a.m. because it was so warm in my room.
I couldn't sleep, so I fell asleep at 4 and woke up at 7:30. Yay.
But yeah, if it gets like really bad, I might have to dip, but I doubt it.
No, I mean, Germany at least has better connection, right, than like America does. I mean, we have fiber optics in the ground, so it takes quite a lot, like a quite big of a storm to like most of the time I think electricity goes before the internet.
That I have to agree with.
I mean, yes, but if the electricity goes, I'll be gone too.
You know, that's very true. That's very true. Are we talking about how bad America's internet is again? Yeah, I'm quite surprised. Like, I'm sitting here and moaning about 85 megabits per second.
I mean, I don't know about like how bad it was, but like, do you want to hear the story about how my parents got decent internet?
It might be a little bit too long for a break.
No,
Okay.
basically, they didn't like one of our neighbors or that owned like the like ground didn't want them to dig for like the cable on their ground, right? But then our neighbor like came in clutch and was like, you can put like a thing on my ground and like have it like go over this like little like what's it called, little stream between our land, right? And was like, and if you don't do that, like if my neighbors don't get internet, you're not allowed to dig on my ground either.
Well,
So our
So-
neighbor came in clutch.
Nice.
okay. So, what do you guys tell Father Lucian on your way there?
Exactly what's happened.
Yeah. Defeated the shadow.
Because he knows that he like is not under the guise and bullshit of all is well in Vallaki. Or he's partly, but nowhere near as much as
No, I'm
No.
pretty
Just
sure he's
somewhat.
like playing along because otherwise he has to go to the
Conversion
Reformation Center.
yeah.
As soon as you
Right.
would like start mentioning like black smoke coming out of a kid, he would immediately go, "Oh, morning, Lord, what wonderful evening weather we have."
Okay.
I assume we save the talk until nobody else is listening.
Despite the beautiful weather, it might still rain tonight, so being underneath the church roof might do us good.
Calvin just shrugs like, alright. Could have just
Illyria
said,
just sort of like mumbles under her breath, like, I swear to God, that man is a joke.
Trying his best here for the Lucian. Alright, so you storm off towards the church.
And she's like obviously talking about the burgomaster.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Storm off towards the church. For the Lucian being silent all the way, but there's a burning curiosity in his gaze. And once more the doors are like open quickly, and then there's another sound coming from
Nix reacts
The
to it
girl.
and gets up as fast as he can, which isn't very fast.
Okay, no. And Father Lucian rushes in there, looks at Asphodel, looks at the child, and looks at all of you. So, what happened?
It wasn't the bones that caused incidents within the orphanage.
Well, all in all, I find that to be positive, I've always looked up to Saint Andral. I didn't like to think that something like that could be connected to his artifact.
No, well, did anybody check? I kind of stormed out, hurriedly, with this boy. The story will be related, but first,
He seemed to be better.
immediately.
More or less, yes.
Still not great, but
Looking less bad.
This has wonderful news. As soon as I've eaten something, I will rush over to Milivo and see if I can do something. Maybe
Yes,
he can be saved, but I need to review myself, and I need to know what happened, and if there's anything I can do here when I'm here.
yes, there is. What afflicted him was actually a horrendous creature of shadow that took residence within this child here. And
Possession.
how's the kid?
The kid has calmed down, has like stopped like sobbing violently and to like the point where you can hardly breathe. But it's like crying softly in your arms, but is looking a bit more alive, yes.
Okay. Yes. Everything horrible that happened in that orphanage, from the cuts to the bruises to Milivoy himself, was because of that creature. This boy has been through a lot because of it.
Possession of sorts, Father.
He furrows his brow, scratches the little scruff of beard that he has on his chin. Possession of a shadow creature. How could... Why?
Something about the Night Mother?
Mother Night?
That's
I
the
think.
one.
Mother Night.
He said he was a lieutenant. So, to me, that seems like there are forces amassing. To have ranks suggests an army.
There's an old tale among the Barovians of two powerful, you could call them entities, that affect our lives here within the mists. The one who rules during the day, the one who stands for protection and truth, is the Morning Lord. But the entity that rules during the night is named Mother Night, who shields and strengthens all manner of creatures who belong to the night. No self-respecting Barovian should worship such an entity because of what they stand for. Therefore, there are only churches in Barovia to the Morning Lord, but there are sometimes whispers of Mother Night that reaches my ears. And I've heard that the Vistani sometimes mention it too. But I have no idea of what kind of entity it can be.
I see. Well, regardless, I know this boy needs a kind of therapy after everything. Do you
Of
have
course.
a bed, a room, or something here available?
There's 2 beds with Jaska. I will tell Diana over there. Hello, Diana. Good evening. Hello, father. to bring a mattress in, and they all three can sleep together tonight, and we shall keep a good eye on Felix. We shall
I'll stay.
also... I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'll stay beside him. In the case something else comes creeping, I'll stay beside both of them. Whoever is in the room.
As for the, whilst it might be prudent to return, we do have an invitation to consider.
What invitation again?
To the Vactors.
The vectors.
Lady Wachter
Yes.
has invited you.
Yes.
Claps his hands behind his back. Concerning.
It is, but probably our best shot to find out more about what's going on.
You think that Lady Wachter has something to do with the theft of the bone?
Certainly.
Well then, with all haste, just be careful with what she says. She's, I do not like to speak ill of people, but I see her as a serpent.
Tell us how you really feel, Father.
You might not be wrong.
My god is the Morning Lord, not some kind of silly celestial.
Fair. Asperger's just gonna take like a deep breath and like exhale, and as she does, like a little bit of frost coming out of her mouth. And it's tonight.
Yes, time to put on that dress again.
Very well. I'll return here afterwards. And one more thing, Father. Before we leave, well, I'll tell you after I put the boy in his room.
Alright. Follow me. Diana, please assist. And she nods, runs up to her room, like drags out a mattress, shows you to a child's room. Jessica is inside, like reading what seems to be Psalms of the Morning Lord, looking very bored. Immediately perks up, seeing this like people and another, boy coming into his room. But notices there's something off about Felix, like he's quite distraught and shocked. A little bit of paralyzation, if that makes sense. And that excitement mellows to concern. Seems to be actually a pretty nice boy, realizing that he needs to be tactful around Felix. And Lucian points towards the other bed that is just freshly made, hasn't been touched, and together you tuck in Felix. And before you leave, Felix kind of whispered to Asphodel, Are you sure this is okay? What if it comes back and makes me do all those things again? Shouldn't I be in a cell or something like that?
Don't be ridiculous. My friend, Illyria, has thoroughly torn that thing to shreds. And if those shreds happened to return, I hope it knows what's better for it and avoid you at all costs. But I will return here after I deal with some other matters. I'll return here and make sure that nothing gets to you. All right.
He nods. Seems a
What
bit
is your
drowsy.
name?
Oh,
What is your name, child?
Felix.
Good. I am Asphodel. Now I will come back for you. You rest well. Can you do that for me, Felix?
Nods his head slowly.
Good. Now, I'll return. And she'll like stand up and after like, tucking him in like tightly into this bed, she's gonna like leave the room to go to like Father Felix. Not Father Felix, Father Lucian.
Wait.
Father
You're
Lucian.
scaring me.
Alright. Okay.
After the door is closed and the coast is clear, she'll like tell Father Lucian,
Mm-hmm.
extreme measures was taken, and when that creature revealed its intentions and form in the midst of battle, all in Milavoy's room, door closed. The boy died. When it retreated back, the monster held a knife to it. And, well, he did pass away. But Nyx revived him back to life. So if the Rectress comes to you, demanding answers and why there is a ungodly amount of blood in Milavoy's room, that is why.
He nods his head slowly, wearily. I understand. It's quite miraculous that you've had one among you that is able to perform such miracles. I do not possess the power to revive the dead. That sounds like one of the miracles of the Abbot of Kresk.
The Abbot of Kresk?
Yes, yes. Calls himself the Abbot.
What is this abbot like?
I think that this is a conversation for later. There's more than this than just a few words. If you're invited to the Vakters and it has something to do with the bones, I suggest haste. But no, Asveda, and he puts a hand on, not on your shoulders too high up, but like on the middle of your arm, reassuringly. I will investigate the orphanage and talk with Miss Belasco to make sure that something like this can never happen again. There's still a horde of undead outside of the walls, and the church is still unconsecrated, and I have a child in the Reformation Center. It will have to wait until all of these crises have been averted, but I promise you that it will be investigated.
She nods her head. And may you have the Morning Lord's strength.
And let it be, his protection be with you.
She, nods her head and, make her way. Already getting this dress out from her bag.
Right.
All crinkled and unironed.
Yeah.
She had to battle in that dress.
Yeah. Cray.
While this was going on, Illyria was go to Nyx and be like, Will you be alright?
Oh, I hope so. Just a little drained.
You seem to be a bit more than a little drained.
Is it that obvious?
Well, you were drained enough to have to lean against me, and well, I might not be the most well versed in magic, but I do know that took quite a lot.
I'm not going to lie. It pinched a little. Yes, it took a lot. But if I didn't do it for a child, who would I do it for? Sorry, I put you through that grotesque scene. But in a moment.
It's all right. I wasn't even able to move before it happened. So
What matters is what happened last.
I
And you paid the
have no right to say anything against you. On my mind, I thought that this child would be yet another person that died because of my incompetence. And because of you, he wasn't. I know we were all really short on souls.
Yes, I could say that I've never felt this empty. I do have a couple of shots, but that's about it.
I should still have to.
Well, we are in a little bit of a rush now, but if you mean what I think you mean, perhaps some quiet time
Most of
alone after
Yeah.
dinner.
But yes, I think you would be. They would probably be better off with you. We should try to be somewhat presentable before we head to dinner, right?
Well, I think that is expected. If Asphodel is already getting out the dress, I should at least wash my face. But hey, I don't think that you should be so hard on yourself. You did exactly what you could and did do. You may not have reacted first, but you reacted last.
Maybe. Anyways, dinner.
Yes, dinner.
And as they say dinner, Nick's like curiously looks for Calvin. Just spotting him.
To be honest, Kelvin would probably just be like driving around at this point because there's not much for him to do.
I don't know why, but I just imagined Kelvin sitting under one of like the pews, just munching on a mushroom.
That would not surprise me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, your character, it's just
I'd say he'd just be sitting on one of the pews, just kind
Yeah.
of looking forward in his own sort of space. Because he's got a lot to think about right now.
Nix will look over and see his expression and say, in as light-hearted tone as he can muster at this point, Kelvin, you hungry?
He lights up very slightly at that. For what?
For food? You want to eat?
He gets a little grin, just like always.
Go wash your hands. We have a dinner date to get to.
Do I need to?
No. It's fine.
Good.
All right, for those who
and-
want
yeah.
to wash themselves, there's a wash basin in the church.
Those who want to. God. Fucking weird.
Cleaning yourself. God, imagine being clean.
God.
Wow.
Oh. I'm
No,
just
Nick's
about as
a-
dirty as my mushrooms.
Nix will go over there and splash water on his face and, wet his hair, since it kind of got a little bit smushed in that. Patting. And he will maneuver it in a way, put him back in a pompadour style.
You have like a little, a little hairbrush that create the curls with, huh? A bit like Grease Lightning style, or
Because I just
Sure.
remembered. Can I wash out the blood wherever I have it?
Yeah.
Because I have
Yeah.
blood on me somewhere. I don't know where.
And then Father Lucia would also help you, as like assist with this,
Yeah.
so you feel at least clean.
Mhm.
All right, and then off we go onto the streets of Balaki.
Dun dun dun.
Dinner time with the devil.
yet another awkward dinner. Woo!
Oh, that's the third in a row, baby.
Let's go!
I mean, one of them was tea, but I guess we could count it.
I count it.
I mean, they offered like small cookies with the tea, but like you all declined it, and you hardly drank the tea too. So it was just like dropping in, saying hello, getting a new
Third
suitor, and then
awkward
dropping out,
social
Getting electrocuted.
situation in a row.
seeing undead cats. That was kind of it.
What kind of shenanigans could we get into this time?
Woo!
I don't know, but I feel like we shouldn't get into a fight.
I swear,
Sure
if
about
it's
that?
another fight.
Okay. So the guards are disgruntled at you. Now you're starting to push it, and they don't like you going to the Bacter house. They're like, "Are you sure?" It's a dangerous place to be. They have their own private security, so they can't be close to you or come in and do, save you when something happens.
Did they say this to us?
Yes, in a very straightforward town, very Halvar-like.
Nix will go over to them and in a curious way, attempt to straighten his collar and say, "I didn't know you cared so much." But we have made promises, and we tend to keep our word. If you wish to wait outside for us, we will be most grateful. But
Is this part of the investigation of what
Must
Illusion has
be.
sent you?
most definitely so. And you can check with him if you want. He's just inside.
Yes.
Or you can follow us and take us as our word. Either way, we're off.
I will double check. Igor, you go.
Igor.
Igor.
Boris and Igor.
Smash.
Boris and Igor. The god.
Grashnikov.
Kalashnikov.
Vodka. The machine!
Davai.
I'm sorry, that's a reference.
Mhm.
Yes, but you're on your way. You're on your way.
I can go the distance.
I'm on
Yes.
my way from misery to
The streets
happiness.
are
within you.
very empty at this time of the evening. It's like closing in on 8. And the curfew is indeed at 8 o'clock. But you're, you know, a little bit of a special case, seeing that you got your weapons back and you're under investigation and under devolution, so you kinda have like a guard pass, but you're like independent contractors, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Interdependent.
Intra.
The night is very misty, to the point where it's hard to see maybe more than 6 or 7 meters ahead of you. There's some street lamps on the more populated streets. It's just basically oil lamps that is hanging, illuminating the mists at even points. It's a little bit chilly. It's autumn, and you can feel that probably the temperature tonight might drop below 0 degrees, which is freezing point for our American.
Not too bad then. So
Nix
it's still not that cold, you know?
Yes, for Scottish people. Nix will hum a traditional Barovian little song to himself, trying to harken back to what he learnt growing up, that when the mists come in, you hum so people know when you're coming or going.
Mm,
Oh,
nice. You pass by some patrolling guards who, despite your status and being Vistani, do send a bit of a grateful look for this, because they are a bit spooked by this lack of vision. And so it is a bit nippy. Your cheeks may turn a little bit rosy. It's calm and quiet. It's not like the Vistani camp where there's sound and music in every corner where there's people, or the Protectorate where you can hear people, you know, inside their home talking around the dinner table. Instead, you know, the houses here are muted, not much light coming out of them, and not much life either. But you press through on the slick cobblestones underneath your feet as the moisture from the mists gather upon them. Go past the Blue Water Inn to turn left towards Wachter House. Immediately by the gates, you can see standing outside them are 2 rough-looking Barovians, 1 man, 1 woman, under 2 lamps that is hanging off of these 2 stone pillars. They're leaning against them as well. There's no visual weapon on them, but they still view you like they can deal some damage if they have to. The guards of yours, or the 1 guard that follow you, Igor, already stopped a few paces away, and is basically not standing close to the house of Vakter at all. Like 20 meters away or something, he stopped and just watches you as you continue on your way to make sure that you indeed are going where you're going. And as you approach these two new guards, out from the shadows and the mists of the alleyway behind you, a hooded figure steps out. At first unseen, very light on their feet. And so you get a little bit startled as the mists part for this dark figure. But immediately throws his hood back to show what seems to be the same figure as the one who walked into you. Or into Illyria, to be precise. Short or medium length black ratty hair, a permanent scowl on his face. Doesn't really look that pleasant, but he has a certain swagger to how he moves. Gives you all a bit of a smile. Late, but okay. And walks over to one of the guards, whispers in their ear. They nod to him, and the gates are open for you. And he waltzes inside past the gates towards the door, which is over here.
Can as we walk through the gates, you said there was one male and one female guard.
Mhm.
You said they were Barovian.
They are rough looking, but Barovian.
Nix will do a little swagger and wink at the female guard.
There's a
As he
curious
walks by.
look that comes back. Alright. This house seems very old. Once upon a time, this house definitely was a grand mansion with intricate details that has been put into the stonework. Solid bricks. A beautiful garden. But years of neglect and harsh weather, and also a very sprawling garden has led to quite a lot of cracks, miscoloration, a little bit of sagginess, like the house is sighing, and the roots of these hanging vines are trying to look for any nook or cranny that they can find purchase in to climb ever higher. But let's go to this. Down here. There you go.
Thank you for the quick.
Hello.
Look at the little man. Oh, never mind.
Oh, man. Little baby man. Little baby.
Yeah, I forgot to fix this map, so we're going to be large size. But he quickly just leads you up to the door over here, opens it up, and he just walks in, not caring if you guys are keeping up with him or not.
Just before we go in, I'm just gonna do a quick turnaround to Illyria and Asphoda. Same introduction like the Burgomasters? Question mark?
Asphoda, just shrugs and looks at Illyria.
I mean, I have no idea what to expect. For all I know, they're just gonna try to kill us in there.
For the sake of keeping up appearances.
But I think we should stick with the thing we had going on, right?
Yes, that the lady of the protectorate has some nobility. Should have an announcement, an announcer. I am Yosef. That.
Please
All-
calm down on the announcement part.
Right. I'll try to tone it down. He walks in.
Okay. Immediately as you walk into the vestibule here, there's stained glass window doors. The one in front of you has already been opened and left ajar by the man who was just pushed past. But the man you meet here has a little bit more darker skin and dressed a little bit peculiarly. But you receive a bow from this man and a very rich voice that asks you, do you wish to hang up your coats or leave your boots at the door? Otherwise, Lady Wachter is awaiting you in the parlor.
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Nix is perplexed by someone asking for his coat. I'll keep hold of my own coat.
He nods and then gestures to what he holds, which is like a wash basin. And there's a towel over his hand. What about a refresher, sir?
Nix runs his hand through his hair and looks at it, still being slightly damp. I'm good, thank you.
He nods.
I made sure to wash up before coming, as a true noble of the protectorate always should.
I do not doubt. The lady thanks you.
Calvin?
And then turns
Kelvin's
to the next, eyes Kelvin. No change in demeanor. Would you like me to take your coat? Or do you require a refresher, sir?
I have a coat?
Do you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Made up cloak. And the same process will happen to Illyria and Asphodel as they be walking in.
Or I don't think Illyria really has a code or anything to give. She just sort of gives a politely declines and moves ahead.
Asphodel?
Yeah, Asphodel just, doesn't have a coat. It's just a dress. She has no need for a coat. What cold? No such thing.
No such thing as cold for a dragonborn.
So she'll just, acknowledge the man, nod her head towards him, kind of wipe her feet at the door.
There's a little bit of a tick coming at his over his brow, but he nods and smiles.
Yep, and she'll continue.
All right. Okay. As you all file through the door that's been left ajar for you, what meets you? Nix, can you just walk into the room so the other people also get to see something? Would that be okay?
Well, I was gonna say if this is the room that we're meant to be
Yes.
going into.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so he's gonna open the door or walk through the door and seeing people there as well. He will walk in and say, "Lady
Oh no!
Illyria Furthermore of the Protectorate."
Hey, now Calvin's just gonna move out the way. He
And
is definitely.
I don't know why, but I feel incredibly embarrassed.
Kelvin's gonna do sarcastically, like the servant bow and like the gesturing to go through.
Oh, yeah,
Illyria just kind of sighs and walks in.
yeah. And Nyx does the bow as well. The half bow.
Oh god.
To the middle of the room.
I'm not really sure, I'm not really sure how well Illyria can hide how uncomfortable she is.
Kelvin's,
Let's do a composure saving throw.
Kelvin's
Oh
just
God,
gonna look
yes.
tasked and just smugly just like
Keep it together, girl.
Composure saving throw. That's a big fat 2.
not too bad.
What did we roll?
13.
13. I mean, there's some stress on your face, but it's not catastrophically. So.
Do apologize for the delay.
Yes. You walk into what seems to be a parlor and a dining room. 3 elegant couches that is to your guys' right, with a oval table in the middle made of black glass. And there's a blazing hearth in front of it. And above it hangs a portrait of a smirking nobleman sporting a broken nose and a tangle of hair graying at the temples. Several smaller portraits hangs on the northern wall. And the dining table is ornate and stretches the length of the room, a crystal chandelier hanging above it imperiously. The silverware is tarnished, the dishes chipped, yet all are still quite elegant. 8 chairs, their backs adorned with sculpted elk horns, surround the table, and arched windows made of latticework of iron and glass look out onto the small, fog-swept estate. And in front of you is a tall and voluptuous lady, broad, with broad shoulders, big hands, big feet. She's dressed in this noblewoman's dress that is a little bit akin to the 15 or 1600s. There's some birth to her hips. Let's just say that. And a tall what's it called? Around what do you have around your neck?
Oh, I know what you mean, but I don't know what it's called.
A shawl?
A choker?
No, not
The lady
her.
has
Like,
a
those,
choker
like-
on, yes.
Those weird thingies that go up from the dress,
Yes. And then
Cravat?
yeah, and it starts kinda not super duper tall, but then gets taller and taller, and is very tall behind your neck, emphasizing
I don't know
your
why.
neckline.
All I can
Yeah.
think is I'm so a little bit like the thing that the evil queen Snow White had going on.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's just medieval. I know, but okay. Raven black
I
hair.
know, but that's the only example
collar.
I could come up with.
There we go. Aspen, thank you so much. A collar. A high collar. Raven black hair up in an quite intricate hairdo with 2 strands of curled black hair in front of her ears. Delicate white gold earrings set with some kind of red stone. And she has her hands clasped in front of her, just resting on her corset. And she nods, bends one knee slightly, as if she would be greeting a royal, and then looks up. Welcome. to my humble home, all of you. Let me get this straight. We got Lady Illyria Feathermore and her servant Nyx, and the traveling companions from the Protectorate Kelvin and a Sir Asphoda.
Yes.
Did you say troubling companions?
No,
Traveling companion.
Okay. Woo!
Woo!
I'm kind of like thinking that she probably knows we're bullshitting.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I mean, we're just bending the truth a little.
No, it's totally on the level.
Little.
Actually, the only person we're kind of lying about is Nyx.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good line. And Nyx will look her to Lady Wakta and say, the lady of the house has clearly done her research. Lady Illyria thanks you for your candor.
Very good.
And
We apologize
can
for
Illyria like discern if she's like, I don't know, if she like knows that's not entirely correct or why we're here?
If she suspects something about you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's do an empathy check about that. If she is just saying this because she believes it, or because it's just what she heard.
15.
Alright. There's a little bit of doubt on her face about a tiefling dressed as colorfully, talk like the Vistani, but is a servant of somebody from the Protectorate. But she's not. There's just a little bit doubt here. It's not like it's.
Fair enough.
We apologize for our lateness. There was a need of our attention, and we thank you for waiting. Lady Illyria, may I fetch you a refreshment? Seeing the wine on the table.
Yes. She sweeps with her hand and she says, "Please, everybody, why don't you come and sit down at my table? I've sadly already eaten myself, but I left the stew going hot in the hope that you would grace us with your presence later this evening. And here you are."
I do apologize for our delay again.
It's quite alright. Better late than never. And I've also heard the proverb that royals should arrive fashionably late. And she goes over to like sit down at the head seat over here. The other man that you met in the parlor comes into the room pretty quietly, pretty demurely, like I'd done this before. Immediately goes to the other head seat and pulls out like a part of it. And
Oh, can I rush? Can I like rush in between? Like silently. That's my job. Kind of.
Oh my god. Should this be some kind of contest?
It's an initiative
I
check.
hate it.
Yeah, let's do an initiative check.
Oh, man.
I die.
Oh my god. I rolled with my initiative modifier.
Fucking dies.
Lord.
Damn straight.
Oh my god.
I love how like you
That's my job.
you used a good roll on getting to like get the chair for Illyria first.
Absolutely, gotta maintain appearances.
Yeah.
Illyria like tries to keep up appearance, although she is quite uncomfortable. Like politely like smiles.
I wanna
like,
stare down, glare at the porter, just like like wordlessly kind of like communicate eye to eye, just like no.
All right. There's a nod, and he backs away, goes into the corner instead.
I continue to draw the chair out, and I have no idea how far I meant to draw this chair out, by the way. Like, I've never done this before. He was just like, sort of like, he was doing it. He's like, oh, now I'm gonna have to do it. So now he's gonna have to guess exactly what the hell he's meant to be doing with this chair.
Oh lord.
Okay, let's make a quick cunning check to let's see if we
Holy.
can figure this out in the moment. This is what
Nat
we
20.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You are a natural.
At faking this.
Got this down.
No, you just think about how you yourself would like to be treated, and then you do exactly that.
I scooted in just as she's about to sit down, just like the perfect thing, and I like take the napkin from the table and do like an eloquent flick, and then like lay it over her lap, and then go to the wine to like pour some wine.
All right. Will you do so also for Lady Wachter, or just for Lyria?
We've got our servants, damn.
All right.
I'm not her servant.
No, it's usually that the house servants serve everybody. Because
Not in the protectorate.
and not in the protectorate, it seems. Hadik looks very confused, and
And I'll serve Kelvin and Aspida as well.
oh god, Fiona.
I think everybody looks very confused, and Illyria just sort of like tries to like wave it off as like
Calvin just looks amused.
a protectorate custom.
Oh, I see. I'm very sorry. I am quite unaware of those.
Of course, no, I apologize for the confusion.
Good.
Everyone has their own servant in the protectorate, you see.
She looks over to Kelvin and Aspida.
Can I like? I don't know. Can I roll something for Illyria not to laugh at them?
Sure. Go for it. Oh god, and I need to come up with what that's going to be.
I can just roll a straight d20.
Sure.
Okay, she keeps it together, everybody. We're fine.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. So, to prove Nix's point,
Oh no.
because Lady Walter, the chair has been pulled. Asuna is gonna go over to the chair, pulls it, and kind of gestures Kelvin. Kelvin.
Hmm? He does not take the hint. He's like, huh? He's distracted by all the fancy stuff in here.
Come now, sir. Don't be distracted. Please take your seat. Take your seat.
Oh.
Take it now.
And her eyes kind of has the look of take this goddamn seat right now.
Take this seat or else.
Alright.
Why does everything with this party devolve into disaster so quickly? I love
Oh,
it.
we're nailing this! What are you talking about disaster? This is like the perfect arrangement of...
Anyway, let's
Yeah.
get it together. Okay,
I mean,
Kelvin.
it's perfect, but we could have just acted normal, but that would be boring.
Kelvin, what you do?
He does take a seat.
Okay.
She'll she'll adjust the seat to bring him up forward. to the table.
Gets like a pillow.
She'll like put like some of her rations on the the thing that the booster seat.
Okay,
Sitting on a
I
loaf
have an
of
important
bread.
question. Are there like special like gnome and halfling tables and or chairs, or do they have like booster seats at taverns?
It's a high chair.
I need to know now.
Well, I think that that in Barovia, since most of them are half elves, they don't have to cater to that anymore. But in the Protector, you probably have different heights of chairs. Yes. But anyway, Lady Wachter watches this performance, and she turned her head towards Calvin, saying, "I don't wish to disrespect, but if a sir is being a servant of you, Master Calvin, then what is your actual title?"
We prefer not to use the title for me, I prefer to be
He
more
is
friendly.
the emissary of the swamp gnomes.
We prefer to be more friendly and a bit more informal. It might not be as welcome here, but
Then Master Calvin will suffice.
Kelvin will suffice, but you can say master if you want.
Very well, Master Calvin. There's a little bit of a nod. And she nods towards her servant just after he had finished pouring her a glass, and he disappears, opens some door, probably getting food. And the man with the cloak still being down is just pouring himself a glass here by the fire, sitting with his back turned to all of you. And Lady Wachter leans a little bit over the table, puts her elbows on it, clasps her fingers together. I hope that Vallaki has been overall a pleasant stay.
It's by far the most pleasant city we have had the pleasure of visiting in this land.
That's true. It's the grandest of the Barovian settlements. But, of course, it can be better. From your expressions, I'm quite sure that you know a little bit of what's been going on here. Inside our walls.
I'm sure what you're referring to.
No need to play coy. There are no friends of the Burgomaster in this house. And she gives like an tense stare at Illyria over the table.
Well, I do not wish to talk ill about Burgomaster.
Why not? He's a coward. And a little piece of shit. from what I've heard what happened the other day, and with Hendrik's untimely death, and seeing what happened in the courtroom, do not tell me that you have not thought the exact same thing.
He...
Do we? Does Nix remember her being there?
No. There was nobody there but guards.
I mean, and there is but you. So, how have you heard about the courtroom?
My influence reaches far into this town, among those who are unhappy with the Burgomaster's rule.
Let's see.
She leans back, doesn't say anything more, as the servant comes back with like a little tray that he wheels into the room, puts a steaming pot, rich, creamy, of some kind of meat stew. There is bread on the table. What seems to be pretty rich butter. This also seems to be a root vegetable salad with some oil and spices. And there's a lot of like silverware that needs to be, put into place, and it takes a while. And Wachter is just sitting there, watching you all with a polite smile, waiting for the servant to finish. And he bows before he exits the room. And then when you're alone with just these two individuals, please dig in. It's all for you.
Food.
Nix will go to the pot because he hasn't sat down.
Oh.
And he's gonna spoon out some like a bowl and put it in front of Illyria, and half shrug, quickly shrug towards Asphyda. So I'm trying to keep up this.
Yeah. She hasn't sat down either. She just stood at attention, in her dress and whatnot, to be, and she, scoops after Nix is done. She serves a bowl to Kelvin.
I hate this.
Can I remark on as I'm doing this, can I tell if the crockery and the cutlery, you said they were tarnished before, but are they old and dilapidated and not shiny at all like this, and maybe feel the weight of them as I pick up the ladle? There's a ladle for the soup, presumably.
Ladle?
Oh my god.
They have been polished as much as they can. It's just centuries of use that no matter how much you patch them up or how much you polish them, age will show.
But in terms of the weight, do they feel like this cheap tin? Because I've felt Kelvin's ladle.
No.
Don't say it like that.
It's definitely silver. Not the fine, delicate silver that you find in Yuri that has about 92% silver in it. This is more the 83% one, the more work silver, that is better for cutlery and things like that.
Okay.
Some of my job shining through.
How the fuck do you know this?
So as he hands the ladle over to Asphyda and goes to put the dish in front of Illyria, Nix will say, Lady Factor, not that it is any of my business to really question the methods here in Verlaki, different as they are to the Protectorate, but we do not tend to have people bump into us to give us invitations, but merely sent to us by a dignified courier. I'm curious as to why you chose to send your man to do such a thing.
It's quite simple. The Burgomaster knows that I do not agree with how he's running things in this town. He's fearing that I'm going to do something about it, and is searching for any way to punish me. And I shall not give him one.
What is, forgive me for asking, it is not my place, but since Lady Illyria is rather famished, I believe I speak for her. What are your intentions here? You have invited us to dinner, but it seems like you have a reason for us to be here as opposed to just merely serving us some soup.
Yes. I wish to be direct. When dealing with me, you know what you're dealing with. But before I get into the meat of our conversation tonight, I wish to inquire first of Lady Lyria. What did you think about Viktor Valakovich?
Illyria, was about to, try to, take the spoon and almost drops it. How, why would you ask that?
A concerned matter.
What?
I was wondering if you found anything strange about him. There are tales, and I have many in my care that I've been trying to give therapy to, who have gone through the process of entering the Reformation Center for a while, being imprisoned there. They do not come out as they used to be. And we're not simply talking about having their freedom taken away from them for a while and maybe served gruel for a while. No, there's something else that has happened to them. Tamperings with the mind to make them more compliable with what the Burgomaster decrees and says. Of course, my daughter, Stella Wachter, would never find herself inside of the Reformation Center as she's under my protection. But you see, I tried to resolve things in the past a bit more peacefully. A peaceful transfer of power. By making it so that I offered Stella to marry Victor. They courted for a while. She spent a lot of time in their house. Afternoons, mornings, evenings, for several weeks. And during that time, I slowly started to notice that she became more anxious, more nervous. Sadly, I did not see the signs too quickly, too fast enough, as I am usually buried in work. But one day, she simply broke. Now the Wachters, the Valakovich wants to say that my Stella was mad to begin with. I do not believe this. So, I ask once more. Was there something strange about Viktor Valakovich?
No.
She leans back.
He seems like a nice enough young man, although pressured by his father. But that is not uncommon, is it?
She takes a big gulp of wine. No, I guess not. I'm sorry for my reaction. I was hoping for something else. Either way, if you are going to be a proper suitor of Viktor Valakovich, no matter how our conversation goes tonight, Lady Lyria, I wish caution upon you.
I will keep it in mind, although I was going to assume that this arrangement that you aren't supposed to know about would be off.
That's good. I might mean that I have a chance for what I'm about to propose. But please finish your food first. Let's not mingle business with the pleasures of life.
At this point, Nix will actually take some food because he's like freaking starving.
Yeah, I mean, Illyria would just kind of like, we'll go to you. Please, do take some too.
Mm-hmm. And
Master Kelvin gives permission to Sir Asphodel to eat as well, perhaps.
Or does Master Kelvin look at
He's
his?
gonna wait till he finishes.
Asphodel is diligently just standing by the side like a servant.
Oh,
When,
Aww.
when he is finished, he will wave to her to.
immediately went to his head, lol.
Yeah.
No, he's doing this because she just tried to do that to him, tried to make him seem like a fucking,
Payback, a small payback.
Payback.
Like, what is Kelvin gonna do? Move the chair for Asphodel?
I mean, it would be better. It just would be futile.
About to break that chair.
Anyway, one after the other, you do have food. Have some wine, and it's indeed wine, and it's not.
What kind of wine?
It is Red Crush.
Dragon Crush. Right.
Yeah, Dragon Crush.
Okay.
Red Dragon
Nix
Crush.
takes sniffs it before drinking and just like breathes a sigh of relief that it's not freaking purple mash and takes a deep sip. But then, like, as he's got the wine in his mouth, he looks to Illyria and Asphodel and remembers the last time he indulged in wine in their presence, and does this attempt to, like, when you put the glass down, you kind of like spit back into the goblet a little bit. So you're
Oh,
taking
no.
such a big of a,
Okay.
such big, not like a spit, but more like let the wine flow out, just so he doesn't drink a big enough goblet,
Okay.
like sip.
Damn. You're grown.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay, how we feel? You finish his food. She's waiting for you to, like, initiate, like, making sure that you're satisfied. There's some pleasant small talk. She talks a little bit about Vallaki. In the meantime, filling the space with basically useless information.
I say they're eating just because it was mentioned. Nix will say like, so, you mentioned your daughter?
Yes, my Stella.
Have we met Stella? Have we seen Stella?
No, you have not.
I'm surprised that she's not eating this evening.
She's unable to be a part of. Be in finer company.
Oh, is she ill?
Gravely so. Mentally.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. It eats away at my heart every day, seeing her like that.
Oh, so it's a recent thing that she has fallen mentally ill, or
A few months ago.
I see. Well, my deepest condolences to you and your daughter, and I wish her a speedy recovery.
Thankfully, my husband gave me two unruly sons as well. Karl and Nikolai II.
Yes, I believe we briefly encountered them one night in the Blue Water Inn.
There's a concerned furrow on their face. Ah, yes. Well, they do spend some considerate amount of time in that establishment.
They were lamenting over a loss of a feline friend. As much as I overheard them in the corner, I do hope they find their cat soon enough.
Karl still hasn't found Tom. He's been a little bit distraught over the fact.
Well, I mean, we are out and about. If we see the cat, well, we can keep an eye out. If it would
That
please you.
sounds wonderful.
Of course. Nobility such as yourself and such as Lady Illyria. They should pick up for one another. Look out for each other.
Oh, I certainly agree. It's too bad that the Valakovich don't follow the same kind of thinking. Tom was about 5 years, black with white stripes and white socks.
Does that match one of the zombie cats, or are they like too decayed to tell?
I mean, there were some puffs of fur on them. You know, some who were a little bit more in shadows and behind things. Just do a 1d20 for me with your intelligence.
16.
16. Yeah. I mean, there were a cat that you saw who had black fur and white socks once upon a time.
Lyra's just gonna keep that to herself.
Anything we can do to help. At least in this gracious sense. Now you are waiting for us to finish very politely before going further with this idea of yours that you wish to pitch to Lady Illyria. Nix will finish up quickly and dab the corners of his mouth with the napkin. And
As one does.
as one does, I guess.
As one does.
And I guess look to Lady Illyria.
Lady Lyria?
I mean, what? I mean, she's...
You
Are you eating still? Are you munching still?
I mean, she's probably just finishing her food.
Okay.
I think Nyx is gonna jump the gun here, probably incorrectly, and just like while she still has the final bite of, like on her spoon, like she's gonna grab the plate.
No.
Yeah. I getcha.
And then like he wants to. I guess he's gonna do his best to try and find the kitchen. Take the bowl to the kitchen.
Yeah, but as soon as you go into the vestibule and the hallway there, the servant kind of stands in front of you, and not rips, but certainly aggressively takes it from your hands. Establishing dominance.
Fucking protectorate weirdos.
Can I try and like hold on for the briefest of moments to see if
Sure,
it like
let's do a brawn off.
servant dominance?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's do a brawn off.
He is.
You can do this. There we go.
Yeah, you hold off for a second, and there's a little bit of tug of war until like. Thank you, sir.
I give like the cheekiest of grins, non-teeth smile, and just give him like a brief nod, and then to return back to the room.
All right. Okay.
Dominance achieved.
Well, you didn't go into the kitchen, did you? Territory
Well.
achieved.
Lord.
Okay. So, you sit back at the table.
No, I'll stand up
You stand
behind
by
Illyria.
Alright. Right. Okay. So, who starts talking first?
So, you said you had a proposal?
Yes.
Or something you would like to talk about?
I hope that the food was to your liking. And
It
with that pleasure...
Was, thank you very much.
Very good to hear. With that pleasure out of the way, we can get down to more interesting things. Are you... I spoke about it a little bit before, but are you aware of the torture that Baron Vargas Volakovic is subjecting the people of Vallaki with?
Vaguely, we,
I believe...
had our suspicions.
I believe in freedom of thought and of expression. And certainly, invoking Strad von Sarovic's name has nothing to do with his power or what he decides to do with us. And hiding from the fact and hiding from everything that is bad will not help our situation either here in Vallaki. And yet, anybody who speaks out of turn, who don't have the resources that I have, gets sent to either the stocks, put a donkey head over yours, and then you're ridiculed and not fed for a few days. Or you're sent to the Reformation Center if it's your second offense, or if it's worse than that. And there you are frankly, physically and mentally tortured by what I suspect it is rumored to be named the Other. None of my patients know how they look, only that it is a woman.
Oh.
And there are cells for sure, but a few instances of removing nails, shattering kneecaps, and such. But then there are also cells underneath that, where strange magic is cast upon these imprisoned souls. That, well, all of them, but definitely those who are put into the cellar. Whenever they come out, and some do not, they are, in some way or the other, mentally broken. You do not know how many in Valakid suffer some kind of post-traumatic stress, anxiety, depression, bipolarity. There we go. I know a little bit of how the mind works with the library that I've had here. So I try to help where I can, because they know they can come to me being able to complain. But outside of these walls, in Vallaki as a large, they are unable to complain or seek help for this torture that has been subjected upon them. So not only do we have a burgomaster who have shown himself incapable of dealing with threats to Vallaki, just sweeping it underneath the rug, but he also tortures most cruelly our inhabitants. This cannot stand much longer. I hope that you agree with me, Lady Illyria, that this is quite appalling.
I do, yes.
Now, still, I do not wish for my fellow Valakians to be caught in a civil war. I've tried to do other things in the past, eroding his influence, but it's only gotten me that far. I've tried to join our houses together and to see if there is a way for me to be closer to the power and maybe influencing and advise Vargas, and then maybe one day Victor and Stella would have cooler heads to rule over Vallaki. But that did not work either. And so I am only left with one solution. And that is, under the threat of violence, remove Vargas from power. And I've heard about your escapades and how Father Lucian trusts you. I've heard a little bit of the ruckus that went on inside of Vord's coffins, and the travels that you've had on your way here to Vallaki. You do seem like seasoned soldiers, all with your different quirks and capabilities. I am here to offer an alliance, or at least a ceasefire between us. My hope is that you join me, because maybe with you at our side, then we will get minimal bloodshed, and maybe we can make the Burgomaster stand down without much trouble. But if you do not wish to involve yourself in Vallaki politics, then all I ask is for you to simply stand aside.
So, what exactly is your plan to remove the Burgomaster from power?
Well, you see, during the festivals, there is a very large crowd of civilians, not only guards. Now, I do have some guards on my side, And I have a trump card up my sleeve. I recently secured the allyship of Isik Strasny. And he will side with me and order all of the guards to follow my rule. Those who would stand with Vargas should be not in majority. Then I will have several operatives inside of the crowd. Vargas will certainly have a few bodyguards that are loyal to him, but he will be in the middle of a crowd full of enemies and with a guard force that he's not sure if they're loyal to him or not. And hopefully, with your might at my side, we might be able to push him over the edge and realize that fighting is not in his best interest. They will simply go on, the Valakovic family, as nobles of Barovia, of Valaki, but they will hold no office and no power. And the rulership of Valaki will peacefully just transfer to me.
As peaceful as such a takeover can be. So, what would you do if you're in charge of Valaki?
Well, as I said, I believe in freedom of thought. I believe in freedom of expression. All Valakians are allowed to say whatever they want, even about me. They are allowed to express themselves in any way. Of course, except if it doesn't involve stealing or hurting somebody else. There will no longer be any mental torture of imprisoned people, nor any public ridiculing of them. There will simply be fines and prison cells, where true justice can prevail.
Empathy check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
You lost that for that? Oh, she's gotta go.
Okay.
Oh no.
No. She seems on the level.
I'm planning on wrapping it up now. We will.
And like Illyria also see if she's like,
Yeah, do it.
I guess Illyria mostly wants to know if that's like all like she wants to. Yeah, no, that's for now. That's probably it's a 19.
Let me roll to see how persuasive she is. No, she seems honest and seem to want there to be some justice, some equal measures to the crime, if that makes sense.
Okay.
She also continues in saying, I have no qualms working with what we do not fully understand, nor we cannot fully conquer or shield ourselves against. I believe an open dialogue and diplomacy with such forces and trade will benefit us all. And that includes ending this ridiculous discrimination of the Vistani. They bring in much needed imports from outside of the mists that will enrich Valaki. it is foolish to not let them do trade with us. So, what say you? Will you join my revolution tomorrow night? And with that, we're going to end this episode of Curse the Mother Mystery.
Da-da-da.